Hello friends, I am Dr. S.K. Mittal. In this lecture, I will cover the mathematical analysis of half-wave rectifier with resistive load. The topics which I will cover is first the general circuit diagram. The circuit diagram I have discussed in previous video, supply voltage and output voltage waveforms, and then on the basis of output voltage waveform, we will calculate the average value of output voltage and current, RMS value of output voltage and current, peak inverse voltage, power delivered to load, and input power factor. Now, first of all, see, this is the circuit diagram of half-wave rectifier. The circuit diagram of half-wave rectifier consists of a diode which acts as a rectifier. Since half-wave rectifier only rectifies positive or negative half cycle, therefore only one diode is used. Here with this rectifier, single phase AC supply voltage is applied at the input of the rectifier. The mathematical equation by which single phase AC supply voltage is represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t, where Vm is equal to maximum value of supply voltage. Vm is equal to maximum value of supply voltage. Now, at the output of rectifier here, between terminals A and B, a resistive load is connected which has a resistance of Ro. Now, if we apply this single phase AC supply voltage at the input of this diode rectifier or half-wave rectifier, then what is the output? Please see. This is the supply voltage to the rectifier. I have given the mathematical representation V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Vm is the supply voltage maximum value, and in this waveform, the first maximum value, which is the positive maximum value, occurs at omega t is equal to pi by 2. Means Vm is developed or obtained at omega t is equal to pi by 2 first time. Now this is the supply voltage waveform, and if positive half, this is the positive half of supply which starts from omega t is equal to 0 and which terminates at omega t is equal to pi is applied, then we have proved in previous video that this output voltage will be obtained across the output terminal, where at omega t is equal to pi by 2 across the load, maximum value is Vm. Now, for this negative half cycle, diode is reverse biased, hence there is no current in the load and therefore output voltage is 0. So from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi, when diode is reverse biased, diode is reverse biased, output voltage V0 is equal to 0. Now from 2 pi to 3 pi, again this positive half supply is applied and diode is again forward biased. Diode here is forward bias and therefore we get the output voltage. On the basis of this output voltage waveform, we have to calculate first of all average value of output voltage and output current. If you want to draw the current waveform, we know that for resistive load, current and voltage are in phase. For resistive load, voltage and current are in phase. Means the output voltage waveform and the output current waveform are similar. If we want to draw the output current waveform, then on the same graph we can draw the output current waveform. The output current waveform is drawn in phase with the output voltage. Here this is the output voltage, here this is the output voltage V0 waveform, and this is the, in red color, this is the output current waveform. Output voltage and output current, these two are in phase because these two waveforms of output voltage and output current starts from omega t is equal to 0 and they are terminated at omega t is equal to pi. Therefore, output voltage and output current are in phase. Here again from pi to 2 pi, since diode is reverse biased, current is 0. Output voltage and output current are 0, and therefore here from 2 pi to 2 pi, when positive half supply comes, output current and output voltage are obtained. So this will be the output voltage waveform and the red line waveform represents the output current waveform. So now waveforms are completed. Now one by one we will do the mathematical calculations. The first mathematical calculation is the average value of output voltage. So now first of all we will calculate average value of output voltage. Suppose I represent the average value of output voltage by V0. Now in the mathematics, to calculate the average value of output quantity or any quantity, there is a general method. Average value is calculated by a general formula. Area under the curve divided by base of the curve. This is a general formula by which we can calculate average value of any waveform. Now, see, if we want to calculate the average value of output voltage, see, we are getting output voltage V0 from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. Output voltage V0 is equal to 0 occurs from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi. And after that, see, this is the output voltage from omega t is equal to 0 to pi, and then from omega t is equal to 2 pi, output voltage V0 is equal to 0. And then again, positive half cycle or positive output voltage is obtained, and then if we extend the waveform from 3 pi to 4 pi, output voltage will be 0. So now, this is the first set of output. Now the second set of output, V0 is obtained from omega t is equal to 2 pi to 3 pi, and V0 is equal to 0 from omega t is equal to 3 pi to 4 pi, and same pattern is followed for next cycles. So this is the mathematical observation for the calculation of average value. Now, first of all, on the basis of equation number 1, we will calculate the base of the curve. To know the base of the curve, see, from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi, output voltage is obtained. From pi to 2 pi, output voltage is not obtained. Again, next output voltage is obtained from omega t is equal to 2 pi. Earlier, when output voltage starts from omega t is equal to 0. Other positive output voltage starts from omega t is equal to 2 pi. Means same pattern is obtained after the span of 2 pi. So therefore, base of the curve in this case is 2 pi, because after 2 pi, same pattern is repeated. Once again, see, the starting of positive output voltage from omega t is equal to 0. Again, positive output voltage starts from omega t is equal to 2 pi. Means same pattern of output voltage repetition takes place for 2 pi. For 2 pi span. Therefore, base of the curve is 2 pi. Now, to calculate the area under the curve, we will see the pattern of output voltage from omega t is equal to 0 to 2 pi. Now, if we consider the output voltage from omega t is equal to 0 to 2 pi for the base of 2 pi, because repetition of the waveform takes place after 2 pi. So therefore, for the base of 2 pi, what is the output voltage? So this is the output voltage which we obtain this is the pi by 2, and at pi by 2 maximum value is obtained. So here see, from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi, we obtain the output voltage. Now from pi to 2 pi, output voltage is 0. So therefore, from omega t is equal to 0 to 2 pi, we will consider the area for the base of 2 pi. But what we observe, from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to 2 pi, output voltage is equal to 0. Therefore, from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to 2 pi, area under the curve is 0. Therefore, we have to calculate the area under the curve. Area under the curve will be calculated from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. So now, how we will calculate the area from omega t is equal to 0 to 2 pi? To see the basic method for the calculation of area under the curve. This is omega t axis. It is omega t is equal to 0 point, it is pi, it is 2 pi. At pi by 2, we have maximum value Vm. And this is the sinusoidal. This is the sinusoidal curve, and this sinusoidal curve we have represented by equation V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Means this curve is represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t, means for every value of omega t, whether we take omega t value at this point or this point or this point, the curve will be represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t. So now, in mathematics, to calculate the area, we consider a thin rectangular strip. At every point, since at every omega t, the height of the curve is represented by instantaneous value v. So for this thin strip, this is the thin strip, and its height is v. And since we are considering a thin strip, therefore the thickness of this strip we will consider a very small value, d omega t, means a very differential value. So therefore area of the strip is equal to height of the strip, which is v for every omega t, multiplied by thickness of the strip. Now this is the area of the strip. Now we have to calculate the area under the curve from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. So therefore area under the curve from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi, what we will do according to mathematics, we will integrate the area of the strip. This is the v multiplied by d omega t is the area of the strip. And now since this area we are going to calculate from omega t is equal to 0 to pi, therefore after integration we will take the limit 0 to pi. So this is the area under the curve from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. And we have already said that from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi, area under the curve is 0. Therefore, we can say that area under the curve from omega t is equal to 0 to 2 pi we can consider 0 to pi v into d omega t, and from omega t is equal to pi to 2 pi area is 0. Therefore, this will be the area. Now, we know the value of v. The value of v is represented by Vm sin omega t into d omega t. So now, this will be the area under the curve. Now, if we use the equation number 1, which gives the average value of the any waveform, then by using, suppose we have represented the average value of output voltage V0 is equal to area under the curve is given by equation number 4. So area under the curve we have represented by equation number 4, which is integral from 0 to pi Vm sin omega t into d omega t. And in equation number 2, we have defined the base of the curve, and base of the curve is 2 pi. So therefore, we can write this 1 upon 2 pi integral 0 to pi Vm sin omega t into d omega t. Since Vm is a constant maximum value, we can take out from integral sign. Therefore, it will be Vm upon 2 pi integral from 0 to pi sin omega t into d omega t. Now, V0 is equal to Vm upon 2 pi, and integral of sine omega t is minus cos omega t, and the limit will be taken from 0 to pi. If we solve this equation by putting this limit, then we get V0 is equal to Vm upon pi. So this will be the average value of output voltage for half-wave rectifier. So this will be represented by equation number 1. Now next calculation is average value of current. Suppose we represent average value of current by I0, and since the load is resistive, then for resistive load we can consider average value of current is equal to average value of voltage divided by the resistance. And since average value of voltage we have represented in equation number 8 is by Vm upon pi, and it is divided by R. So this will be the average value of output current. This will be equation number 9. Now next calculation is RMS value of output voltage. RMS value of output voltage is calculated by SMR process. Means root mean square value of output voltage can be represented by SMR process. S means squaring. S means squaring. M means taking the mean, and this R indicates the square root. So now what we do here, this is the first formula which we have developed for the calculation of average output voltage. What we do, first I have written here squaring, and if output voltage I represent by V0R, therefore what is V0R? V0R means RMS value. What I have said, that RMS value can be obtained by squaring. So which value I will square? From equation number 5, this voltage value Vm sin omega t I will square. Means voltage curve is squared. So how output will be like this. Means if suppose this is the curve and it is to be squared, then squared value will be like this. So therefore what we will do, we will square this Vm sin omega t, keeping other values same. So therefore integral 0 to pi Vm sin omega t I have squared. Only voltage value is squared, multiplied by d omega t. And in this equation number 5, I have divided the numerator by 2 pi. If this equation is divided by 2 pi, we say that we have taken the mean. And now the whole value is written like this. So first I have squared, and by dividing by 2 pi, we have taken the mean, and then total value is taken at the power of 1 upon 2, means square root. So now if we solve, and if I consider this as equation number 10, then what value we will get in the numerator? Integral 0 to pi Vm square sine square omega t into d omega t divided by 2 pi, and we will take the square root. Now, what is the value which are obtained here? So this is the denominator. So I can write this 1 upon 2 pi integral 0 to pi Vm square sine square omega t d omega t, and then it can be taken with square root. Now since Vm square is again a constant, therefore RMS value of output voltage can be obtained by taking Vm square out of the integral sign, and then integral sine square d omega t to the power 1 by 2. Then we have to integrate sine square omega t, and we know that from trigonometry sine square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. So now RMS value of output voltage V0R is equal to Vm square divided by 2 pi integral limit from 0 to pi, and in place of sine square we can write 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2, and here square root. Now again we can simplify this equation. Vm square divided by 2 pi into this 2 can be taken out from integral sign, and then what will be there? 1 minus cos 2 omega t. 1 minus cos 2 omega t, if it is integrated, one integration will be omega t minus integration of cos 2 omega t is sine 2 omega t divided by 2, and then limit we will take. And if we solve this equation number 15 by putting the limits of 0 and pi, then what value we will achieve? The value we will achieve is Vm divided by 2. So this is the RMS value of output voltage. Now after that we can calculate the RMS value of load current. The RMS value of load current will be simply calculated using Ohm's law because the load is resistive. And if RMS value of load current I represent by I0R, then I0R will be simply V0R, RMS value of output voltage, divided by value of load, which is resistive. And here, since V0R is equal to, we have proved Vm divided by 2, and it is divided by R. So this is the value of RMS value of load current. Now after that, a very important parameter is calculated, which is PIV, which is known as peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage is the voltage which is developed across any diode during reverse bias condition. Peak inverse voltage means maximum voltage developed across diode under reverse bias condition. Now see the circuit diagram. This is the circuit diagram, and here if supply voltage is represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then here the maximum value will be Vm. And if diode is reverse biased, suppose this is the supply, and here maximum value of positive half or negative half, diode is reverse biased for this circuit under negative half, the maximum value of see here how much voltage will be developed across this reverse bias diode, which is the Vm. From this point to this point, the voltage will be developed across this reverse bias condition. So therefore, the peak inverse voltage or maximum voltage across diode under reverse bias condition is equal to Vm. Now, next calculation is the power delivered to load. Power delivered to load. The power delivered to load is nothing but multiplication of RMS value of output voltage multiplied by RMS value of output current. We have calculated here RMS value of voltage, and we have also calculated the RMS value of load current. So therefore, RMS value of output voltage we have represented by V0R, and RMS value of load current we have represented with I0R. So therefore, this will be one equation to calculate the power delivered to load. Now, if you put the value, if I represent power delivered by load is PL, we have proved the value of V0R is Vm upon 2 multiplied by the value of RMS value of current, we have represented by Vm upon 2R. Therefore, power delivered to load can be represented by Vm square divided by 4R. So therefore, equation number 18 for numericals, we can use equation number 18 for calculation of power delivered to load, and equation number 19 we can use for calculation of power delivered to load. Now the next calculation is input power factor. Input power factor. The formula for input power factor is given by power delivered to load, power delivered to load divided by RMS value of supply voltage, RMS value of supply voltage multiplied by RMS value of load current. Now, power delivered to load. Power delivered to load we have calculated in equation number 18 and in equation number 19. So suppose I use equation number 19 for power delivered to load. So now in the numerator it will be Vm square divided by 4R. Since supply voltage to the rectifier is represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t, where Vm is equal to maximum value. Therefore, to calculate the RMS value of supply voltage for the denominator, RMS value will be calculated by maximum value of the supply voltage is Vm, and it will be divided by root 2. And then RMS value of load current. The RMS value of load current we have calculated here in equation number 17, and it is Vm divided by 2R. Vm divided by 2R. And if we calculate, the input power factor comes 1 upon root 2 is equal to 0.707. So now in this way we have calculated various mathematical parameters for half wave rectifier with resistive load. Thank you very much.